when it comes to the depth you're building? I mean, where do you feel you're at right now in terms of guys if you had to start today? And how many could you go deep, you feel?
For sure, right? 6, 7, 8 guys. I mean, as you guys have seen practice, I mean, there's a ton of different combinations, whether it's 31, 68, 30, 99, 76, right? 91. Like, we got a volume body of guys that I trust that we can go out in there and play the game the right way. So feel really good about the depth that we have right now.
Anyone as far as this, I mean, obviously in the spring with Perkins and Suggs were new guys and they kind of made statements. What have you seen that way in the summer in terms of, have there been some guys that maybe have kind of closed the gap?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've talked about just as a room, right, having that competition, right? Healthy competition every single day, guys competing, right, and pushing one another. So again, like you say, you got Suggs, you got Perk, right, you got Dylan Johnson, you got Nolan Bills is starting to progress. I mean, guys have been working every single day, had a good off season with Coach Brady and the boys, right, as far as strength and our body weights, and guys are pushing one another out there in between the stripes.
How much different does it feel just with that many options this year?
Oh, it's fantastic. But, I mean, when you talk about D-line play, you have to have bodies, right, depth, because, again, it's a long season, right? It's physical and the way that we're going to play, and we're going to play aggressive, and we're going to get after it and be on the attack. You got to have guys that you trust that you can roll in there to keep the intensity level going.
Coach, with a guy like Jamal Howard, how did you really challenge him in the spring? Where have you seen him grow these last 4, 5, 6 months?
I think the biggest thing with Mel is having the other guys in the room. You got a lot of mature guys, a lot of guys that have played a lot of college football that he can lean on and learn from and grow. And I just challenged him about being more consistent every single day, right? You got a 3-play set, a 4-play set, right? How many good reps can I string together?
With Brandon Lane, I know I've seen him get some first-team reps so far during fall camp. Just what does he bring to you, like when you put him out there, and just how has he progressed as well compared to last year?
The biggest thing is I feel he's a lot more comfortable with the defense. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's playing aggressive. He's playing on the attack. So really been pleased with how he was in spring, the offseason he's had, and heading into fall camp, just how fast and how confident he's playing right now.
Mike Tressel talked before practices started about the defense in general, trying to limit explosives, get more TFLs, more takeaways. Why do you think this defense is in a better position to succeed in those areas right now?
Well, just the mentality. That's what we talked about just as a defense, a front of just being the aggressors, right? Playing on our toes, playing with knockback, playing north and south, right? And generating negatives and takeaways, right? Just the overall mindset shift of the defense as a whole.
This is obviously an older group. You got some older guys there. There's that physical maturity, but can you speak to what other areas when you have older guys, how that helps in terms of just developing the group and what you can do out there?
100%. Well, the big thing, and it starts with Coach Fick, is he talked about, being a pro, right? Developing your routine, right? The extra amount of time that you put in regards to studying the playbook, right? How mature are you when you head into the training room at prehab as opposed to rehab, taking care of your body, right? All those little things add up as you progress throughout the season so we can keep and continue having the depth that we have. So talked about just being a pro.
When you have as many new pieces as you have, how important is this fall camp, not just on the field, but getting this off the field time in Platteville?
Oh, 100%. I absolutely love it out here in Platteville. You get away, you ignore the noise, because we talked about, especially with the new faces, that brotherhood, that camaraderie, right? No matter where you came from, where you played previous stop, at the end of the day, you're a Badger, right? You're a Badger now. And so just having that brotherhood, that bond, that family, getting to know one another, because everybody's story is different, right? But at the end of the day, you're here now, right? And you're a part of this family. And so just making sure that when we take that field, we take it together 11 as one.
There was a lot of discussion this offseason about getting bigger up front. It's one thing to have big guys, and it's another to produce them. What gives you confidence that it'll be different with that group right now?
Well, the biggest thing is the bigger you get, you have more confidence, right? We've worked our tails off in the weight room to get strong. We've worked our tail off to add mass, and now play with it, right? Play with an edge and play with the confidence and trust all the work that you put in the off season. And so that's the biggest thing we talked about is playing with the edge and using the strength.
Coach Xavier flashed with a couple of moments in the spring. How have you seen his progression as those reps start to stack for him?
Oh yeah, the big thing with X is we got to just continue to stack days, and it can't be flashes. We talk about consistency as a young guy, right? It can't be 1 every 3 or 2 every 3. Stack good reps. So that's the biggest thing is just pushing him, changing his body in the off season, changing his body even while we're out here in Platteville. There's still a weight room here. So just continuing to attack everything you do so you can be consistent when you step in between the lines.
You talked about all those combinations you can put together on this defensive line. What type of flexibility does that give you, not just in terms of health, but like just in a game and the matchups you can create?
Yeah, I mean, every guy has different God-given abilities, right? Some guy may have a little bit more twitch. This guy may have a little bit more strength, right? When you can throw different combinations at an offensive line, right now that scouting report gets really long for him. Right? Hey, what does this guy like to do? What does this guy like to do? What does this guy bring to the table? And for those guys, it allows them just to play fast and fresh and go. Right? The offensive line, you don't see many guards sub out throughout a drive. But we can keep guys coming at them. You got a hook, you got a jab, you got an uppercut, and we just on the go all the time.
As far as Dylan Johnson's play and progression this fall, what have you seen? What stands out to you about what he's doing?
Same thing. I mean, he's really matured, and I know he's still a young guy, but he's played a lot of football, and he's continued just to be steady Eddie, right? To be consistency, rep after rep after rep. So he's done a heck of a job with the opportunities when he gets out there just to continue to go play and play the game the right way.
What have you seen out of some of the freshmen who have joined this unit over the summer?
Oh, I mean, those guys, they got a lot of older guys to learn from. And, those guys have really gravitated towards them. And when you talk about just what the standard is and addressing the standard, those guys have really bought in when they got here and embraced everything that we're about. So they've done a heck of a job of doing that.
You kind of briefly touched on Nolan. He made some, a couple plays today. But in general, where are you seeing his growth and where he's kind of maybe starting to show a little more?
The big thing I challenged him was to get his body weight up. I mean, he's about 299, 300 pounds right on the cuffs, right? He's strong. And same thing, as a young guy, just challenged him about being consistent, right? A guy that you can trust, that you go out there, going to execute, do your job, and strain and do it. Because we know he's going to fight. Just make sure you're doing your job all the time.